Thank you for downloading this episode of our podcast. Hi, and welcome to the podcast for Solomon Staircase Masonic Lodge number 357, where we talk about all things related with Freemasonry, including Hermetic teachings, philosophy, reason, spirituality, and much more. We're located in Buena Park, Southern California. Tune in as we continue to update our podcast with informative talks and articles for Masons worldwide and those who would like to inquire within.
So let's dig into the April 2024 Trestle board, and the theme of this episode was I Own the Yield, starting with the Master's article, Greetings from the East. The individuality of a person needs no bounds. Living life without considering the opposing factors that pull us down is the only way to get some meaning out of it. All worthy men who are respected today loved a simple life, which is why they are respected and followed today. They saw adversity in the eye without losing their self-control, to be part of the superficial vices of life. The yield comes naturally when the times strike rich, as spring follows winter. Liberation is the ultimate value we experience while passing through struggles and troubles without compromising our ways. Freemasonry gives those options to use freedom of life and a disciplined mindset to maintain success by controlling their passions and desires. Freemasonry never looks for perfect human beings, but to make them better. Often shrouded in mystery, I Own the Yield holds significance on personal responsibility, courage, growth, and the pursuit of wisdom. The virtue of brotherly love perpetuates the timeless ideals of fraternity. Nature had it. All we loved and owned merged into nature again. The Lodge has seen another fine degree through the members of the fraternity. Newly initiated Brother Brandon Lehman was honored by a traveling Brother Worshipful Aaron Reddick, who happened to visit across town and presided over the function. We saw some brothers that rarely came by exhibiting the fraternal spirit of Freemasonry. We also had a rainy March culminating into April with a relief that nature's bounty unloads and allows us to enjoy once again the beauty and true expression of flora and fauna coming out to bloom. Once again we take from the Lodge that ownership of self, yield of knowledge, stewardship of virtue, and cultivation of brotherhood. Something deep down always asks, when all is gone, what is left is love, and the reason to prepare for the next occasion to mingle and cultivate the joy of sharing and giving. This constant process of self-yield gives the pride and joy of being a Freemason. Shivam Sharma, Master, 2024. So the next article is from the junior warden at the time, John McCarger, who was also past master, and the title of his article is Making Better. Greetings from the South. We as Freemasons like to repeat a much circulated phrase where we say we make good men better. The how is what lingers thereafter. This is an opportunity where we can improve our interface with candidates since they are recipients to whom the statement is most often directed. What makes for a good man is a varied list of virtues principally aimed at doing good as well as the all-important possession of knowing right over wrong in many areas of life. A younger man will need to learn on his own the importance of making the right choices, even if it means having to make wrong ones as he matures. What is to be found further on is honor, duty, service to others, and mental attitudes of the greatest kind that are the royal road to being better. Spiritual, moral, and intellectual attainments fulfill the making men better promise. Achieving a maturity of personhood or character, to be taken as someone awake to the seriousness of life, is a long process but not assured, especially in contemporary society today. The need to know what to do in difficult situations or circumstances never goes away. Many individuals, said nicely, have stopped caring or even reject the importance of bedrock human values that do pertain to one's personal development. Occupational knowledge aside, the desire to achieve personal attributes of depth, to include discernments of all kinds, along with an exceptional attitude to work with others and in wanting to serve others, is sadly absent today in a broad sweep of society. This we know, but this as Freemasons is what we offer, and there is so much more. John McCarter. Following up on that, we have our article from Brother Greg Cherry, Director of Masonic Philanthropy, Southern California, and the title of this article is Masons for Mitts is Back. Brothers, it's time to knock it out of the park with the 2024 Masons for Mitts campaign. Starting this month, Masons across the state are donating $20 to provide underserved youths of California with brand new leather baseball gloves. In Orange County, we support the Los Angeles Angels RBI program for boys and girls aged 5 to 18. The program is more than just baseball mitts. It is about providing enriching summer activities for children who could not otherwise afford to attend a summer camp. At the same time, it provides support for parents as well, with programs and seminars designed to promote academic participation and achievement, stress healthy habits and wellness, and encourage greater inclusion of under-resourced youth in sports. All for just $20, we can give a child a beautiful Angels red baseball mitt that is inscribed with a square and compass. Please get involved with this good and worthy program. Support your lodge's participation this year. Here's how. And then there's actually a QR code in the newsletter, which I'm not going to be able to put in. And there's a couple of other options. But what I am going to say is Masons for Mitts is an ongoing program every single year since it started. And if you want to help an underserved youth in the Orange County area, you can go to Masons and then the number 4, mitts, mitts.org, and then you can check that out. And there's different teams in Orange County that you can donate to. There's the, I believe, South County Bears. There's the North County Bees. And if the Dodgers aren't, or if the Angels aren't your team, you can also do the same thing. You can look for Masons for Mitts, and you can go in and check out the Dodgers or the Giants or the Padres, and it'll give you an opportunity to donate to those worthy charities. All right, next up, let's cover the editor's notes. And the title of this article is As You Sow, So Shall You Reap. As I thought more about the theme, I Only Yield, I determined that for me, a version that is more well known is As you sow, so shall you reap. Galatians 6:7. A man reaps what he sows. To sow. First definition, to plant seed for growth, especially by scattering. 2, to set something in motion, begin an enterprise. And what does reap mean? 1, harvest the crop from a piece of land. Or 2, receive a reward of benefit as a consequence of one's own or other people's actions. So, what seeds are you sowing in the lodge and in your personal life? Are you planting the seeds of discontent and divisiveness, or are you planting the seeds of brotherhood and fellowship? Are you planting the seeds of ambivalence or the seeds of inclusiveness? The interesting thing is that the things you sow may not even be something you do consciously. For example, you get to lodge just before the meeting starts, you leave as soon as the meeting is over, you don't really interact other than a few handshakes. You're busy, you have a lot on your mind, you have a lot to do, but what image is that giving to your brethren? What seeds is that image planting? Are you planting the seeds of doubt or seeds of confidence and trust? Do you share your opinions of all the things that are wrong with the lodge and Freemasonry, but decline to step up and take an active role to make things better? Do you talk about how you would be a better master, senior warden, junior warden, treasurer, secretary, etc., but you don't actively pursue helping that person or offering support? Do you talk about all of the things the lodge should be doing, but you don't offer to run a committee or take on the ownership of these projects? Now, just to be clear, I'm not referring to anyone at all with these questions. I'm just posing them as food for thought. I'd be willing to say that we all have had one or more of these thoughts at one time, but whether you plant those seeds or you keep them in your bag makes all the difference. Bad thoughts can be like weeds. One every now and then, here and there, may be expected and accepted. But if the whole yield is turning out to be something that is not useful, there should be some reflection on how to change those seeds out for something more beneficial. Sowing the Seeds of Love, quote by Tears for Fears. That was written by me, Aaron Reddick. So this next brief article is a little bit about charity. Charity takes many forms. Give blood, give money, give goods. Give blood. Our next upcoming blood drives are June 6th and October 10th, but that doesn't mean those are the only times you can donate. There is a time frame that is required between donations, but if you miss one of ours, there is others out there. You can check out the Red Cross or Vitalent or any other types of charity organizations that will take blood and schedule yourself some time. Give money. You can donate to the Masonic Homes, the Distressed Worthy Brother Fund, or to Masons for Mitts. Before you purchase that next Starbucks double calf frappalappa macchiato latte grande with sprinkles, ask yourself if that money wouldn't be better used to help another human, and it's a tax write-off. Give some time. Do you have spare time? Volunteer to work with a local school, a boys and girls club, a shelter, a veterans organization, or any other number of organizations. It doesn't cost you anything but maybe some gas money and can make all the difference in the world to another human. And finally, give goods. We pretty much all have too much stuff. And you know what? There are people out there who have very little and need some stuff too. So, look through your stuff and donate some of your extra stuff to people who can use it. There's all kinds of places that will do that for a good cause. And then we're going to close this episode out with what I thought was a very well-written memorial or obituary for a lodge brother who passed. A Mason's Mason. And this was written by Richard Kroll, who is currently our secretary. On October 14, 2023, illustrious Richard L. Reamer, known to his Masonic brethren as Dick, passed away at home in the loving care of his wife, Anita. He was 98 years of age. Dick was instrumental in the formation of our valley. In 1976, he was elected as the president of the Orange County Scottish Rite Club, the goal of which was the formation of a new Scottish Rite Valley to serve that county. When letters temporary were issued for a Lodge of Perfection in September 1977, Dick was selected to serve as its venerable master, a position he held until January of 1980. Under his leadership, all 4 Scottish Rite bodies of what was then called the Valley of Santa Ana were formally chartered. Meanwhile, also in 1977, Sovereign Grand Commander Henry Clausen named Dick as the chairman of the Sovereign Grand Inspectors General's Advisory Conference for the Valley, the office now known as the personal representative of the Sovereign Grand Inspector General in California. He served in that office until February of 1988. In recognition of his exemplary service during these formative years, Dick was coroneted an Inspector General Honorary in 1979. His service to the Scottish Rite was only a part of his long record of service to Freemasonry. It began with membership in the Swordsman chapter of the Order of Demolay in Joliet, Illinois. After returning from World War II, he petitioned Mount Joliet Lodge No. 42, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons, and became a Master Mason in 1947. After moving to California, he was one of the founding members of La Mirada Lodge No. 778, which was constituted in 1957. Dick was its first senior steward. In 1961, Dick served as master of his lodge. His lodge recognized him with the Hiram Award in 1993. Dick served the Grand Lodge of California as Junior Grand Deacon in 1982 and as Grand Orator in 1983. In addition, he served on Grand Lodge committees for over 30 years, including the committees on lodge financing as the chair, Constitution observance as the chair, Code Commission, bylaws as the chair, jurisprudence as the chair, and code revision as the chair. He joined the Los Angeles Scottish Rite bodies in 1966 and was decorated a Knight Commander of the Court of Honor in 1973. Before shifting his efforts to the creation of the Valley of Santa Ana, he served as Wise Master of the Los Angeles chapter Rose Croix in 1974. He joined El Bacal Shrine Temple in 1984 and served as president of the Valencia Shrine Club in 1986. He served 5 potentates as temple orator. He also joined the Royal Order of Scotland, the Orange County York Rite bodies, the National Sojourners, and the Heroes of 1776. In short, he was a Mason's Mason. Outside of Freemasonry, Dick served in the 102nd Infantry Division of the United States Army during World War II, fighting in the European theater. His National Guard unit was activated during the Korean War. Thereafter, he served for decades in Judge Advocate General Corps of the United States Army Reserve, retiring in 1978 with the rank of colonel. Among other civic and professional organizations, he was president both of the La Mirada Homeowners Association and of the International Right-of-Way Association. In preparation for the first degree of Masonry, we declared that we wish to be serviceable to our fellow creatures. May Dick Reamer's lifetime of service to his country, his community, his profession, and his fraternity serve as an example to all of us. He is survived by his loving wife Anita, his older son Rick and daughter-in-law Susan, his younger son Craig and daughter-in-law Maria, 3 stepchildren, Lillimore, Tina, and James, 2 grandsons, and a great-granddaughter. His first wife Lois predeceased him in 1985. So thanks for listening to our April 2024 Trestle Board. Now I need to actually take a break and go work on the July 2025 Trestle Board. That's late for this year. And with that, be good humans.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a comment. We enjoy hearing from our listeners. If you really like what you heard, share this podcast with your friends and lodge members. Visit us online at solomonstaircase.org.